I would like now to concentrate on the role of institutional investors in the Empowa lease-to-own contract and the Empowa funding model. Now, I appreciate that many in the Empowa community may have reservations about the potential for an outsized role for institutional investors. But we have to look at it differently. Institutional investors bring accountability and bring capital. Anytime we have more capital coming into our platform, our ecosystem, that is a benefit to all token holders, in particular because every single transaction requires the use of the EMP token effectively to be validated. So why do we need institutional investors? In a word, money. They have it. They have access to capital. They have the licensure needed to go to the public to request capital to allow them to invest in projects. For us to eliminate an entire class of capital and investors would be folly. It can't happen. From a regulatory and compliance perspective, for the size of some of the investments that Empowa could potentially be involved in, we are obligated to speak to institutional investors. It is not possible to conceive of financing a 25 or 50,000 home development in one country or across 2 or 3 countries without involving institutional money. But we should be happy to involve institutional money because it brings liquidity to the platform. And the rules and regulations that they would impose upon the platform in terms of financial reporting, in terms of technological requirements, just serves to make the platform better. I think that's critical. But that raises another point. What would institutions need from us as a project? Mainly compliance, reporting, access to information, due diligence. All of these things serve to mitigate risk. They want to know, and they want assurance that the instruments that we create are compliant. No funny business. Particularly because many traditional institutions have a somewhat perverse view of what Web3 technologies can provide. Well, in reality, it's just a technology. It's no different than a fax machine or the internet, and they ignore it at their peril. What Empowa has been very wise in doing is they've been proactive in deploying this technology to the benefit of a particular sector. And what we have in turn done is we've taken steps to speak the same language of the institutional investors, specifically when it comes to valuation, risk mitigation, securitization, and collateral. What they will require are certain technological solutions and tools so they can see where and how their capital is being deployed, and they can get a sense of how the return is coming back to them. We will actually have to go above and beyond a regular 10K or 10Q or financial statements because we are at the cutting edge of technology and we're working in an emerging economy market. But we have the advantage of blockchain, which means when we report payments, there are ways in which we can provide access to this information to institutional investors and other participants virtually in real time. And because this data is written to the blockchain and blockchain is immutable, they have virtually more assurance of the bona fides of the financial information that we're providing than if they were to be given an audited statement. And that's one of the areas where we can leverage as far as the technology. Secondly, they will require the tooling that enables them to enter and exit positions quickly and easily. And that is something that the Empowa team is well and equipped and ready to provide. Lastly, how does their involvement impact the community? From my perspective, Anytime more money is brought into a project, that is a good thing. Anytime the requirements for compliance are brought into a project and the standards are raised, that is a good thing for everybody. Anytime a project exhibits increased utilization by a broad variety of sectors, that is a good thing. Their involvement will impact the community by accelerating adoption of the EMP token, for one. It will also bring critical liquidity and enhance the reputational value of the Empowa project as a whole. What it effectively means is we are adding rocket fuel to existing EMP token holders. Because the EMP token, defined as a utility token, as a unit of house that can be used for collateralization purposes, once that is adopted by industry and they recognize the fact that now our collateral is effectively in our hands and liquid in the event of a default and doesn't require expensive, labyrinthine, bureaucratic, legal process to obtain, it means their investments are even more liquid and less risky, in spite of the fact that this is happening in emerging economies. Add to that the fact that the Empowa program will be engaging developers in many countries, and the demand for housing and homes is so high across the emerging market of Africa. It really means there's great opportunity for institutional developers to participate and help, and all participants in the community stand the increased chance of having a better return, particularly on their EMP token, but also on any NFTs that they participated in.